Coming up on this week's news, it's that time of year. Memorial Day travel gets underway this week. A toll scam gets fired up across several states where there are no tolls. And tolls appear to be a near certainty for the replacement of North Carolina's Cape Fear Memorial Bridge. Hello everyone, welcome, and thanks for joining us for another travel update of all that's coming down the pike. The Memorial Day weekend is upon us, if you can believe it, and that means, of course, much more traffic as a good percentage of Americans hit the road for the holiday. In fact, the American Automobile Association's forecast for the coming holiday weekend puts about 45.1 million of us on the road, traveling at least 50 miles from home. Among that throng of travelers will be 39.4 million people traveling by car. According to the AAA, that is almost a million more road warriors versus 2024, with holiday travel in 2025 due to set another record for Memorial Day weekend. The best times to travel anywhere by car are before noon on Thursday, before the holiday, and before 11 a.m. on Friday. If you wait until Saturday or Sunday to travel, do it before noon on Saturday or 1 p.m. at the latest on Sunday. And coming home on Monday, the AAA recommends you get on the road before 2 p.m., and if you wait until 4, you'll probably regret it. Traveling should be easier on the wallet to a point. Gas prices are averaging about $3.18 as of Monday morning, which is about 41 cents less per gallon than last year. The lowest prices in the nation are along the Gulf Coast and south, except for Florida and Georgia. The highest prices are primarily found in the Rockies, west of the Pacific, including Alaska and Hawaii. New warnings are being issued about that long-running phone smishing scam, which sends a text or push notification to your device. This time, the warnings are coming in states where there are no tolls, at least none run by government agencies. The toll smishing has been ongoing since at least March of last year, and the FBI and the U.S. Federal Trade Commission are both taking complaints on behalf of consumers. In one state, South Dakota, the Attorney General, Marty Jackley, published an online notice warning users are getting texts that don't even give you the toll amount to pay. Users are expected to click a link to learn that alleged overdue charge. New Mexico has also put out a warning to drivers in the past week. You may recall last year we began reporting on this story, and it was about a year ago. Nebraska became one of the first states without tolls to get targeted by the toll scam. Regardless of whether there are toll roads where you're living or driving, it is important to note agencies do not send text messages demanding payment or threatening your license or registration. You may report these phishing texts to reportfraud.ftc.gov or at www.ic3.gov. From scams to lost infrastructure money, that's the issue confronting North Carolina, as it has to consider where to gain new funding to build a replacement for the Cape Fear Memorial Bridge. Officials had celebrated the Biden administration's infrastructure grant last year of nearly $250 million, which would have helped fund that project, money the Trump administration has clawed back. That was announced in March this year. We told you at the time the only other funding option available if the project was to get state funding was an option that required tolling. Without tolling, North Carolina's Department of Transportation does not give the bridge's replacement a high priority on its projects list. Now, with costs higher due to tariffs and the White House's trade war, the bridge's cost has jumped to $1.1 billion by a new estimate released by NCDOT in the past week. That now leaves a funding gap that has grown to over $800 million. Officials say they're seeking other grants to help defray some of that cost, but tolling is still a very likely outcome at this juncture. In case you missed it, a toll increase is coming to Seattle's State Road 99 tunnel. Washington State's Transportation Commission approved a 3% increase in rates, which will take effect July 1st. That approval was announced in the past week, by the way. For regular passenger cars, that will mean rates in the Seattle tunnel will be going up by 10 cents during evening peak hours and by a nickel during morning peak hours and during off-peak hours. Tolls were last raised about 3 years ago. Once again, tolls on Seattle's State Road 99 tunnel are going up on July 1st. And a reminder, the interchange of the Massachusetts Turnpike and I-95 will be facing delays of 2 to 3 hours the weekend following the holiday. The Massachusetts Department of Transportation is narrowing the Mass Pike to one lane in each direction while a bridge is replaced over a commuter rail line just east of I-95. The lane restrictions happen starting 9 p.m. on May 30th. They'll last through 5 a.m. June 2nd, and they'll happen again during the weekend of June 20th to the 23rd. We will post that information on our social media pages as well. We will, like many of you, be taking a break for the Memorial Day holiday, but we will return the following week with all the latest news coming down the pike. Until then, drive safely and remember to avoid distracted driving. I'm Danny Pryor reporting for Turnpikes.com, the Turnpike Authority.